way. I think 100% it could go that way. For sure it could. They can civil war each other. We won't be in there. Well, I don't think that's really a good thing long term, right? But yeah. And 8 days at the start. How do you feel about the intense fracking happening in Texas to supply the Europe LNG now? When Iran is freed, terrorist attacks will go down by a lot because people will lose their main funder. Yeah, exactly. And that's the other big reason is that, like, really a lot of these terror attacks happen, and they happen because they're being funded by people in Iran. And so as soon as that funding goes away, then you're probably going to have a lot of the bombings go away too. And I think that's the other really big difference. Oh, this is the same video that we've already saw before. So we've gone through a lot of those to begin with. Iran needs an ultimate weapon, white women and minivans. Oh, God, no. And let me go. I will show you guys the video of the lasers because apparently they are actually using the laser weapons. And I don't know exactly how these work, but we'll look at it. U.S. deploys laser tech. Oh, boy. Here we go.
Iranian Shahed drones pose a real threat.
Oh, no, we saw this one. Never mind. I got confused. Let me go back. I think there's a new one. And if I can't find it, then we'll look at something else because I did get a little bit confused about this. I don't know exactly what it was. But, yeah, they have been using more of these to begin with. Let me go ahead and look at it over here. You see the Big Chungus bomber images? No, I did not see the Big Chungus bomber images. Oh, here it is. Okay.
All right, we begin with the very latest on Operation Epic Fury. Over the course of the last week since the mission began, U.S. forces striking over 3,000...
There's no way they called it Epic Chungus, though, right? Like, I'm like 99%
Epic
sure
Chungus would be crazy.
Oh, God.
Targets, destroying 43 Iranian warships, all in just a matter of days. The strikes diminishing Iran's missile and drone capabilities. Since the start of the war, there's been a 90% drop in Iran missile attacks and an 82% drop in drone attacks.
And new satellite images are showing the destructive aftermath of facilities in Iran. This image shows what a missile base looks like before and after the strikes. And this is the damage at a coastal military facility inside of the country.
Meanwhile, President Trump is demanding total submission from the Iranian regime. Writing on Truth Social, there will be no deal with Iran except unconditional surrender.
Damn.
After that, the selection of a great and acceptable leader. We and many of our wonderful and very brave allies and partners will work tirelessly to bring Iran back from the brink of destruction, making it economically bigger, better, and stronger than ever before.
Today, President Trump, First Lady Melania Trump, and members of the cabinet will attend a dignified transfer for the service members who were killed in Kuwait. It will be held at Dover Air Force Base.
And as a grateful nation honors these 6 soldiers, we're learning more about who they were. Army Reserve Captain Cody Cork's calling in life was to serve his country. His longtime friend telling reporters he has always been dedicated to this country and all of what it stands for.
Man.
A fellow soldier who served under Cork for a year called
I mean, you want me to be honest, I'm surprised that it was only 6 people. Like, especially over a week or something like that, I would have expected more people to get killed. Like, just basically based off of numbers, mistakes, and just scale. Honestly, I'm really surprised.
A solid leader who would never put a soldier in harm's way. And then Sergeant First Class Nicole Amor, who's just days away from returning home to her husband and 2 children when the deadly drone strike happened. Her husband says she loved gardening and making salsa from peppers and tomatoes she grew with her kids.
Sergeant First Class Noah Tychins, he was a Nebraska native who taught martial arts, and he is described by friends as a dedicated family man and a soldier. His family friends say that the news of his death put his loved ones in denial, especially as they planned on celebrating his 43rd birthday this past Thursday.
That's sad.
He leaves behind his wife and a 12-year-old son. Sergeant Declan Cody was also killed, and he is only 20 years old. He had been checking in with his family from Kuwait every hour or 2 after Operation Epic Fury kicked off last weekend. His father telling the Associated Press that he stopped responding to messages on Sunday, which prompted concerns from the family.
Jeffrey R.
He's younger than me.
Is a dedicated major who received a number of medals, including the Meritorious Unit Commendation.
Like most of my viewers are that old, over 43.
They are in shock,
Jesus.
grieving and grappling with the reality
just 6
of losing
soldiers.
the
Yeah,
most
I expect there'd be way
important
more.
man in their lives. He leaves behind his wife and at least 3 young children. Chief Warrant Officer 3 Robert M. Marzon was just 2 months away from returning home to Sacramento on his last deployment after serving in the Army for more than 30 years, according to his niece, who honored her uncle in a Facebook post. Pentagon is waiting for medical examiners to positively identify the soldier and confirm his death. Marzon has a wife and 2 children waiting for him at home.
That's sad.
Let's go straight to Nate Foy live in Tel Aviv with the very latest on the war front. Good morning, Nate.
Hey guys, good morning. And President Trump sort of warned the American public that more casualties are likely, as that is just a reality of war. But overall, he says that this operation is going incredible. He rated Operation Epic Fury as a 15 on a scale of 1 to 10. He says it's going incredibly well, inflicting a lot of damage on the Iranian regime. And both American and Israeli forces are doing that, with Israel overnight leading the charge with new strikes, both in Tehran.
Yeah, I woke up this morning and there were so many other bombing videos. It was insane.
But also on Hezbollah positions in Lebanon. So take a look at this new video as they took out an IRGC military university, as well as Iranian missile storage sites both above and below ground. In Lebanon, Israel hit Hezbollah rocket launchers and weapons depots. The IDF said that it launched that new wave of broad-scale strikes in Tehran this morning, with 80 Israeli fighter jets coordinating in the attack, as the U.S. and Israel continue degrading Iran's offensive and defensive capabilities. However, that capability still exists, and the regime can still attack. Overnight, Iranian drones struck near the Dubai airport. Earlier in the night, an Iranian drone struck an oil facility in southern Iraq. Despite that, Iran's president, Masoud Pezeshkian, said this morning, quote, "I should apologize to the neighboring countries that were attacked by Iran."
This is what got him mad, bro. This is it. Because he apologized.
On my own behalf. From now on, they should not attack neighboring countries or fire missiles at them unless we are attacked from those countries. I think we should solve this through diplomacy. He blames some of these incidents as...
See, this is what they always say. They want to solve things by diplomacy, but what they do is they use diplomacy as effectively a stopgap to allow them to gather their forces and then attack again. So they call for diplomacy whenever they're on the defensive, and then they call for basically jihad when they're on the offensive. That's what they do. And so, this is it. They're stalling for time. Yeah, exactly. It's amazing that anybody even buys into this anymore.
Called it on miscommunication, because
just
so
fake
many
diplomacy.
of the Iranian leadership has been killed at this point. Iran has fired on 12 countries across the region. They've hit military and civilian targets. Many of those countries are, of course, furious. President Pezeshkian said yesterday that mediation talks are now underway with several Gulf states. Now, the IRGC is claiming to have attacked an oil tanker in the Strait of Hormuz. Also, overnight, we know that their Navy is decimated, with, as you mentioned, the U.S. having sunk 43 ships on top of 3,000 targets on the ground. But as I mentioned, Iran still does possess capabilities. We saw that here in Tel Aviv. The sirens went off 6 times yesterday, several times this morning as well. And we saw dozens of interceptor missiles go off over my shoulder. One missile was intercepted over Tel Aviv. Another one landed in an open area. So despite the fact that Iran is less capable, they still do have the ability to hit Israel and other countries in the region.
So, Nate, you're there in Tel Aviv. Can you give us a sense of what civilian life feels like right there during daylight hours? It looks like traffic behind you is traveling. Is that lighter than it normally is?
It seems pretty normal to me. Yeah, it seems very normal, honestly.
It's definitely lighter than it normally is. Now, in Israel, they're used to being attacked, so it's not like life grinds to a total halt.
You just attack another country, and now you're crying about your soldiers dying? What, Iran's never attacked anybody? Iran attacked 14 countries. Are we really talking? Is there any sort of proportionality to this? Absolutely not.
But compared to my previous trips here, this is now my third time in Tel Aviv. Businesses are closed much more than they normally are. There are fewer people out on the streets. But that being said, people do still move on with their lives. War is a reality here. So you do still see people out on the streets, but not quite as much.
Nate, what is the death toll in Israel? Do we know that number?
Well, so there have been 2 deadly strikes in Tel Aviv.
I'd say probably a few hundred people, right?
Or near Tel Aviv.
It's got to be a few hundred people.
Jerusalem.
Yeah.
I believe the number is 7. I'll have to double check on that.
Wait,
exact number.
7? Holy shit!
But relative to the punishment that has been inflicted on Iran, it's not close. This operation has been just a massive success from a military perspective. Right. But as we saw last night,
bunkers
here in Tel Aviv,
everywhere. Wow.
People of Israel and
I just thought they would have hit more people.
The other countries in the region, despite the fact that Pezeshkian of Iran is saying that these attacks are going to stop. We'll actually see if that actually happens.
All right.
Thank you, Nate.
Thanks, Nate.
Holy shit, man.
Griff, who's going to give us a Wawa?
Yeah, and Rachel, when Nate Foy says that this has been a clear military success, Operation Epic Fury, just 1 weekend under the leadership of Secretary Hegseth, General Kane, and Admiral Cooper, has really broken records for successes. Let's look at exactly what the American forces have used.
Hello?
Damn, bro. The stitcher like that.
I thought you were friendly, man. No, you're not.
No, you're not. Hmm.
Munitions, everything from drones all the way up to massive ordnance penetrators taking out bunkers, 200 different fighters, from missile launchers to fighter jets to attack jets to things that the administration says they can't tell us.
I'm surprised they had 2,000, honestly, or 200
two
fighters.
Aircraft carriers,
that's nuts.
The Lincoln and the Ford, a third one we're told may be on the way in the B-1 and B-2 bombers. What have they hit? The Iranian asset loss count, 3,000 targets struck. To include the missile launching capabilities, we have seen the decrease of the number of missiles that Iran has been able to launch down 90%, drones down 83%. 43 Iranian ships destroyed. It is In 1 week, Operation Epic Fury has essentially wiped out the Iranian Navy. And of course, one submarine.
I'm gonna be honest, like, I don't know how they have any ships left. I assumed that they would have blown them up a while ago.
Destroyed as well. Now, let's look at, you saw in Nate's report that Iran's president saying they were apologizing to countries they hit. Well, they hit a lot of countries. They hit
trying to get a friendly lobby. Yeah. I told you it's not friendly around here, bro. Just a faker. Tried to tell you. Suck my dick.
I'm friendly. I'm friendly. I'm friendly. I'm friendly.
He's friendly.
I'm friendly.
He's friendly.
I'm friendly. I'm friendly. I'm friendly. No way, bro. GG, bro. Good shit, bro. 1 HP, bro. 1 HP, bro. Fucking pussy. You're a fucking bitch. Like, where does he even come through? Like, where did he come from? I'm really confused. He just came through the fucking window? No footsteps, nothing? Hey, bro. No. I'm friendly. I'm friendly. I'm friendly. I'm friendly. Like, where did he come from? I'm friendly. I'm friendly. I'm friendly. I'm friendly. I'm friendly. I'm friendly. No way, bro. No. Friendly. I'm friendly. I'm friendly. I'm friendly. No way, bro. GG, bro. That's fucking wild. He was just sitting behind the...
Every single one. What do you mean?
I don't know. Just report that. Where the fuck did he come from?
Basically, at every other country they shot missiles at.
a dozen countries in the region, essentially everybody.
All right, it's a sign.
Israel,
say fuck
and we
everybody.
saw the U.S. bases in Kuwait, in Bahrain, in Qatar, in the UAE. They hit Oman as well. The Strait of Hormuz is right here. That's why there's so much. Saudi Arabia hit. And then even all the way up to Azerbaijan, they hit. That is why so many of the Gulf states are getting in this fight.
It's like, I wonder who's wrong. You know, like, if you're the common denominator and you have all these problems, I wonder who's wrong.
Necessarily have this on our bingo card, but you can bet they're not happy. They're responding. We'll see where that goes. And that's been a little bit, guys, of the game changer in all of this, is that when the U.S. and Israel launched this attack, the reaction...
Why am I in just fucking monster lobbies like every day? I log on, it's a red raid every time. Bro, what the fuck? Are you serious right now? Holy fuck, there's no way that did damage to me. Fucking snitched it. Ark's always out to get me, bro. It's fucked up. Someone's behind me. Yo, you wanna make some money? Never mind. Bruh. Fuck you, I'm leaving with my free kit. No, fuck you. What a rat, dude. You guy's a fucking rat. Knocked myself out, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Just cheater lobby is like right off the bat. Fucking crazy.
The Gulf states being attacked by Iran is something that is changing the trajectory, because those countries in places like Bahrain, in the UAE, in Qatar, in Saudi Arabia, these are now today tourist destinations. They have a lot at stake, and when bombs are raining down on them, they're not going to sit by and take it.
They're clearly upset at Iran. My question is, can it cut both ways? Could any of these countries also be upset that maybe they want us to do a better job of protecting them, or are they satisfied?
It's not our fucking job, lady. Dude, it's just red lobby every time, like. Fuck it, let's get swifty, dude. it over here? I forget how you get over there. Why is he holding that angle, bro? What's up? My deck I was cleaning? What are you talking about? Oh. This guy's got a bobcat. He pulls his blood out and holds that angle. Yeah, it's a level 2 account. It's kind of crazy. Was that your deck you were cleaning or work? Oh, yeah, that wasn't me. I was like, what the fuck? I haven't been outside all day. I was like, did I post something on my story? Shit, I must have been drinking pretty good. Yeah, working in the mines. Not right now, though. Oh, yeah. Earlier, there was like 4 guys, they were talking about being friendly. They're like, yeah, are we in a friendly lobby yet? They're like, yeah, man, I think we finally made it. And then I walked in and I said, don't shoot. And I fucking mowed them all down with the shotgun. And then I got pickaxed by some guy. I don't know if he no-clipped through the wall or where. I have no idea where it came from. He just appeared behind me, hit me with a pickaxe. So now I'm just gonna run free kits. Every lobby I've gotten has been, well, this one's not, but it's been like the dark red lighting, like the cheater lobbies. Which makes sense because I killed a lot of people last time I played. Whoa, 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 bro. I'm friendly, bro. You got me, bro. Is a weirdo. Dude, the Torrente fucks, honestly. I'm just looking for a big win here. I'm not, you know. Like, I have a plan. I'm gonna tell someone, friendly, don't shoot, kill them, take their gun, have 2 guns, kill fucking, like, the whole lobby. Just gotta sneak up on somebody. Hello, are you okay? Ah, my penis.
Wait, is that really TV?
Shh.
Wait.
This fucking idiot. Is that really Tifu? Yeah, because I sound like fucking Tifu at all, bro. Tripping. I'm friendly. Friendly. I'm friendly. Bro, come on, bro. This guy's fucking shooting me in the back, bro. We could gangbang him. Wow. Holy fuck, bro. Yo, defib, bro. It's not too late to turn to God. Someone's downstairs. They tripped my jolt, man. Someone save me, please. Not fucking around. Open this door and help me. Help me.
What's going on over here?
A lot. There's a lot going on. He's down, bro. He's down. Yeah, kill his ass. Bitch. Oh, bro. Get his ass. The door on the left. The door to the left. No, shut the door. Yo, you have a fibby?
What's up?
You have a fibby? Yeah, bro. Oh, yeah. Oh shit, they're coming, bro. Oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'll trip it. I'll trip his ass. I'll trip him for you. Yeah, he's running. Yeah, he's running. It's not the real Tfue. Fucking God, these guys are stupid. Fucking idiots. One is knocked off the launch tower, hiding all their hardware near the top arc, soon to ram to their fences.
I don't know.
With the
That's
level of protection they're having.
Yeah, it certainly complicates things, but it also, I would imagine, when we look back at this, this will be this dynamic will be probably one of the most important dynamics. And you know, the Iranian president makes a very good point. You know, the Iranian regime has in place.
Hold on, I'm starving, bro.
Mechanisms that if somebody gets
I gotta go get some food. I haven't eaten all day. I'm fucking starving.
knocked off, strikes still occur. And so maybe a lot of these strikes
Be right back.
occur in a vacuum of leadership.
I think that's exactly what happened. I think the amount of leadership that we've killed, and I think that them probably having their communications cut probably is the reason why you're having so many decisions that seem like they're completely like counter to each other. I think it's because they don't have any sort of centralized leadership at all.
But then that raises the second question.
That's the only way it makes sense.
Okay, well then if we're going to demand absolute surrender, total surrender, then who surrenders?
Yeah.
In that leadership vacuum.
Well, the IRGC.
Yeah, and you know what's really sort of an interesting moment this week. I'm not sure what the latest count is, but at one point, Iran fired more missiles on the UAE than they had even Israel. In
what the fuck are they doing? They're shooting missiles at the UAE. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. They're crazy. Oh my fucking God.
That's why they are getting into this fight. That's why they're drawing a line, their own red line.
IRGC has central leadership north from the surrender, right?
You know, obviously,
no, not really.
To
it's pretty easy to surrender.
Just in terms of distance, or what is the political
higher chance of hitting something?
Well, one would think that Iran's basic goal is to strike where we have U.S. military installations, including the UAE,
that's what would make sense.
Qatar,
that's what I would do
Bahrain.
if I was them.
But yet, at the same time, you're seeing that these Gulf state countries that have been hit, they're hitting in tourist areas, a hotel catching on fire. And that's where they've said no. And Iran's ultimate goal was they thought perhaps that by attacking the Gulf states, they would then put pressure on the Trump administration to stop the war, but it's done just the opposite.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
I think that's exactly what it was, right? Is that they thought that if they bombed those other countries, that those other countries would say, oh my God, we're getting bombed because of the United States. We have to go and push the United States to stop doing this war. But I think that backfired. And what they're saying now is they're looking at Iran and they're saying, why the fuck are you bombing us? We're supposed to be kind of on the same side. Like, what are you doing this to us for? We weren't even the ones that attacked you. So I think that's really kind of what happened. And I think also, like, generally, I mean, you know, like, you have something like that happen, it's going to piss off a lot of fucking people, too.
Oh, fuck. Okay, I'm back. Have you seen all the people on TikTok just shilling that marathon game? Like, holy fuck, you are retarded, dude. You're fucking retarded. Like, if I wanted to play a shitty game, I'd go play Valorant or something. Like, why the fuck would I want to play Marathon? That looks so bad. Everything about it just pisses me off.
Exposing the grift, debunking Asmongold on IQ in less than 10 minutes. Well, thank God. I didn't want to watch it for that long, so it should be easy. Here we go.
In one of the most ironic social media posts of all time, Asmongold makes the claim, in response to Mehdi Hassan, that the average IQ in Somalia is 68, and that
I was rounding up, actually. It's like somewhere around 67.67, but yeah.
Claim isn't racist, but a fact. What makes this post ironic is the very last bit where Zach claims Hassan's tweet is an attempt to push a narrative.
It absolutely is trying to push a narrative. It's trying to push the false narrative that every culture and every group of people has an identical IQ. This is not true. Everybody knows this isn't true. You take 3 seconds and you look at the world and you know it isn't true.
Well, not only is this Asmongold's attempt to push a narrative, but the claim itself that African people have low IQs is also an attempt to push a narrative.
Yes.
That number typically traces back to the world.
There's also a lot of other components to why people have low IQ, and it's not necessarily race. I'm sure that race is a component, but I would say it's probably like a 4th or 5th level component. So the big reason is you've got the big 3, right? 2 of them are like kind of harder to say, and the last one is like a little bit hard. It's a little bit more obvious. Inbreeding is number 1. Do you think that inbreeding is going to lower people's IQ or not? Do you think that a society full of people that are inbreeding are going to have low IQs? Is it going to fuck up people's brains? Absolutely it is. You also have the amount of nutrition. You have food. So if you take people that are inbred, that have no food, you are going to have people that have extremely low IQs. This is just obvious. And the problem is that some people want to pretend like this isn't the case, but it's very evident that it is because your brain isn't getting the nutrients that it needs. Now, I think that, again, if you really even assign all of that and you remove all of that, very clearly there probably are some degree of racial differences, but the main factors are inbreeding and nutrition. That's a massive fucking factor. And also, if you look at the way that people from Somalia have integrated into British culture, how they've integrated into American culture, how they've come from, let's say, Japan, you will see one common variable every single time. It's that these people are total drains on the society. They are massively problematic. They're scamming. They steal things. They do not integrate. And at the end of the day, they are a negative for the societies that they come to. So why would you bring in all of these people that have such a high rate of there being a negative outcome? Why would you ever do that? It's stupid. It has, like, if you just take a step back, are you keeping your country safe? Are you keeping your people safe when you allow immigration from a country that has a massive inbreeding? Do you want to know what the percentage of women who are victims of female genital mutilation are in Somalia? 99%. I'm not kidding. If you look up the World Health Organization, and they have a study on this, 99% of women in Somalia are victims of female genital mutilation. I don't want to import that culture into my country. I don't want to take the risk that I'm importing that culture into my country. I don't want them here. At all.
Of Richard Lynn.
It's disgusting.
This guy, a literal, self-described scientific racist.
What does that have to do with whether it's right or not? You're calling somebody a word. What does that have to do with this?
This man was part of a secret eugenics conference where, and I'm not joking, there were people favorably arguing in favor of pedophilia. So
that's obviously bad, but you know what's even worse is probably the fact that pedophilia is normalized over in Somalia. If you're going to act like that's bad, why don't you look at what they're doing? Look at whenever they're getting married.
Yeah, this is the guy Asmongold is quoting. Lynn published a paper in 1982 called IQ in Africa, a pseudoscientific journal, The Mankind Quarterly, a white supremacist outlet that is currently...
See, he's trying to poison the well by saying that things are pseudoscientific, saying they're white supremacist, etc. You're not actually attacking the argument. You're not actually attacking anything that's being said. You're assigning negative variables and negative attributes to it, and then hoping that people, because of those negative variables and attributes that you're assigning to it, will assume that it's wrong because they're not supposed to agree with things that have these attributes. That's what he's doing. It's dishonest.
Maintained by the hilariously named Human Diversity Foundation.
Because there's diversity between humans. That's correct.
Far-right white nationalist company.
Again, like none of this has anything to do with whether this is a good or an accurate thing at all. This is more, again, and again, I want to take a step back. It's environmental, it's educational. There is also the factor of inbreeding, which is massive. All of these things have nothing to do with race, and they're still all factors for IQ. So what's happening is that you just have a person who's throwing a bunch of buzzwords at it to hopefully get people to disagree with what's being said. You're trying to shut down conversation, and you have to keep in mind, let's go back and talk about that eugenics conference that was banned. The reason why these things are banned is because research into this topic isn't allowed. You have to keep in mind that the father that invented DNA, or not invented, excuse me, discovered DNA, was effectively had his entire career destroyed because he said that there's a chance that there could be a racial basis for where IQ is coming from. And so the reason why there isn't a lot of research or information in this is because there is a wrong answer. And it's basically politicized science that has been effectively co-opted by activists that will not let people have a conversation about this topic at all. That's the reason what's going on.
In this journal, Flynn argued that the IQ of
drinker, generational hater. What is this? Pull this up. See this?
Drinker is a grifter. He's trying to tell the audience what he thinks they want to hear. Hilariously, it works on you, proving that the audience of grifters are very, very low IQ. Others can argue differently. There is no winner here. Besides, you're a low IQ alt-right incel that has a personal vendetta against anything you perceive to be left-wing. You are not a reliable source. The guy is a low IQ moron that is seeking attention. I mean, his videos are hate videos, not criticism videos.
Of course.
Yeah, that explains exactly why you're a loser who spends his free time making fun of marginalized groups on the internet while being a dipshit low IQ manlet that is invisible to every woman walking past you down the street.
Again, it's all about the approval of women. It has nothing to do with whether somebody's right or not. It's about, are you getting the consensus approval?
What you got fired for, you low IQ piece of shit. One thing I always
notice how his arguments are low IQ? Yeah, because IQ matters. It obviously matters, and anybody that thinks that it doesn't matter is probably low IQ.
From grifters is how they are so opportunistic that they will contradict themselves if it means they can serve up a shallow dunk to their low IQ viewership. That he knows the point that's being made, but is misrepresenting it to fit the narrative he's trying to push.
Right.
The alternative is to suggest he's low IQ. And I would never do that. God, I can't take any more of this low IQ dribble. Drinker is
well, anyway, so this is the person who's making a video of me talking about IQs. Huh. It sure seems like he cares a lot about IQ, actually. Right. And also, keep in mind, none of these were arguments. None of this was an argument at all.
Was around 70. Notice I said sub-Saharan Africa was around. In this journal, Flynn argued that the IQ of sub-Saharan Africa was around 70.
Okay.
Notice I said sub-Saharan Africa. Yes, Lynn's argument is that a continent that consists of about 50 countries all had a similar very low IQ.
Okay. All of the European countries have similar IQs. All of the Asian countries have similar IQs. This trend.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The obvious problem with this argument is that
this is an average.
Is huge, and there are over 1 billion people with over 1,000 different ethnic groups. Nigeria alone has more than 200 ethnic groups, and that's a single country. Do you think Lynn tested every ethnic group in Nigeria, let alone...
Do you think that one of them is going to have a higher IQ than people in China? What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, really, it's just so retarded that it's just like you think about this for 3 seconds and you immediately realize that it's retarded. Oh my God.
The rest of the continent? Yeah, me neither. Anyway,
let's be honest for just a second.
Other psychologists went back and actually checked Lynn's work.
Let's look at
Richards, Dolan, and von der Maas published a systematic review in the journal Intelligence, looking at IQ data from sub-Saharan African samples. What they found was that
IQ.
Such as improvements in nutrition, healthcare, and even toys. In other words, the environment is the most relevant variable in determining one's IQ score.
So why would you want to bring people from the country that have a bad environment to your country? Why would you want to do that? So, like, I don't understand. Because, like, so if your brain isn't developed properly because, like, for whatever reason, you know, environmentally or whatever else, who creates it? Well, they do. They're killing each other and cutting each other up. They've been doing this for thousands of years. I mean, obviously, that's the reason why. And you can't understand their IQ is so good. They have to keep living in mud huts rather than building houses. Exactly what you said. Yeah, of course. So the thing is that it's not relevant to me whether the IQ is arrived at through racial, genetic, or environmental reasons. The only thing that matters is whether the IQ is or isn't. If you bring a bunch of people who are functionally retarded into your country, you're going to have a lot of problems. So why would you ever invite that type of chaos into your country? It doesn't matter where they're coming from. It doesn't matter why it's happening. Why would you ever do that? It's stupid. There's a reason, like, aren't like 80% of these people on welfare in America? It's insane. And then also keep in mind that it's not just systematic, right? Or it's not just environmental, because even, like, for example, Somali American families inside of America that have been here for 10 years. They have been in America for 10 years. They still have a much dramatically higher rate of being on welfare than, you know, normal, like, I would say, like, just average, you know, everyday Americans in the general population. That's it.
Genetics. But let's rewind for a second.
It has nothing to do whether it's genetics or not.
Mention something that you all may not be familiar with.
What is it?
The Flynn effect.
Right.
The Flynn effect is the observed rise in IQ scores over time. Basically, if you gave an average...
I think this is true. So, in general, you are going to have a ceiling and a floor of IQ. Like, for example, if somebody's really, really naturally smart, if they are not well educated and they're not, you know, like, basically, you know, they don't have good... What do you call it? They don't have good, like, environment, or, like, they don't have good nutrition, excuse me, and for whatever reason they don't have these options. Well, what ends up happening is that, yeah, they're not going to be as smart as they could be, but their floor is higher than somebody else's. So it's the same as anything else. There's a variation of it, but that variation doesn't go from 100 to 0. There is a natural limitation that each person has. And if you really think that you can train 2 random people and one of them can just randomly be Einstein just because you educate them in the right way, you're just delusional. You're obviously delusional. Every single other element of humanity is measured in this way. So, for example, there are people who are shorter because they have lower, you know, amounts of food that they're eating. But it's not like people that have an adequate amount of food are always 7 feet.
Oh, what a fucking piece of shit, dude. I knew I took my hand off the keyboard. Someone just shoot me, bro.
For
Like, this guy's just been following me for a while, I'm sure. Sure, you just came across me, huh? Just happened to be walking the same area, bro.
There are people that are just
absolutely correct.
This is, and
yeah.
The problem is that a lot of people inside of Western society are terrified of the idea that people are not equal, but they're not, and we all know this. Everybody knows this.
Yeah, brand new account.
You would know this. There
For
are a
sure.
lot of people that are just born with less talent points than others. They're stupid. They're dumb. And there's nothing that you're going to be able to do. You're not going to be able to, like, teach them something. Maybe you can make it a little bit better, but you're never going to teach a lot of these people to be rocket scientists. It's just never going to happen. It's a delusion, but people don't want to talk about that because they're worried that it could be considered or seen as eugenics.
Reasoning, pattern recognition, and problem solving that modern societies train us in constantly.
Like, there's no point in bringing gear in, bro.
Yes.
Everyone's fucking shooting.
People want to believe that anything's possible with the right luck and the right the right opportunity. Yeah, it's not. There are some people that are just losers, and some people that aren't.
Our minds have altered dramatically. As you all know, the cars that people drove in the 1900s have altered because the roads are better and because of technology.
Well, it's because people with high IQs design.
Oh, yes, I just happen to be walking right across here, right here. Sure.
A concrete world and analyze that world primarily in terms of how much it would benefit them, to people who confront a very complex world.
For sure.
And it's a world where we've had to develop new mental habits, new habits of mind. Now, this dramatic change was brought to my attention through massive IQ gains over time. And these have been truly massive. That is, we don't just get a few more questions right on IQ tests. We get far more questions right on IQ tests than each succeeding generation. That is the time that they were invented.
People are getting smarter, okay? This is an argument against what I said. What does this have to do with what I said?
Indeed, if you score the people a century ago against modern norms, they would have an average IQ of 70. If you score us against their norms, we would have an average IQ of 130. Now, this has raised all sorts of questions. Were our immediate ancestors on the verge of mental retardation? Because 70 is normally the score for mental retardation. Or are we on the verge of all being gifted? Because 130 is the cutting line for gifted.
James Flynn, a scientist who documented this pattern, showed that IQ scores increased roughly 3 points per decade in many countries throughout the 20th century.
I think there's a lot of reasons why that happens, and one of the reasons is a unique reason. Whenever you have dumb people that are really stupid, the probability is that they're not going to reproduce. So the reason why is that those dumb people usually make bad decisions. Those bad decisions get them put in jail, and you can't have a kid whenever you're in jail. So that's what happens, is that a lot of dumb people wrong, well, of course it's obvious, is that a lot of the dumbest people are going to get removed from the gene pool, right?
Chat, where's he at?
I love how people are using it. It's a movie?
Yeah, come get my blueprints, nigga. Like, what?
The argument against what I'm saying is a movie? What do you mean? No, it's obvious this is true. You're going to have
I got some.
the lowest, dumbest people. That
yeah.
I'm not talking about. See, like, this is what people don't understand. You're thinking I'm talking about people with like a 90 or an 80 IQ. I'm not. I'm talking about people with a 60 or a 70 IQ. This is a totally different wavelength. And those people are probably not reproducing because a lot of those, especially the majority of those people with that low of intelligence,
on his body in the train.
Those men are getting put in jail. That's it.
So, if IQ were purely genetic and fixed,
it's not purely genetic. There's a lot of factors to it. Genetics are one factor, but it's not the only factor.
That kind of rapid change would be impossible. Evolution does not move that fast. Your great-grandparents were not biologically inferior to you. They just lived in a world with less formal education.
Well, they were shorter, too. Another component to this is that it's height. Like, people in general over the years have become taller. And I think the reason why is the same thing. Like, this isn't even an argument against what I was saying. I think everybody knows this.
Less exposure to abstract symbols, less complex media, and different cognitive demands.
I don't think that the reason why is that they have less complex media or there's less cognitive demands. I don't think that's even the reason at all.
Shit, bro. I just banked that whole kid on accident.
Don't even care about it in the first place. Also, the way that you measured something 100 years ago is totally different foundation than the way that you would do it now. Tall people die sooner at a certain amount of height, yes.
Which means IQ scores are sensitive to the environment and improve when the environment improves. Access to schooling, nutrition, healthcare, the complexities of daily life, all of these things are relevant, and none were accounted for in Lynn's work. Because of course they weren't. Lynn was a self-described scientific racist. His goal was to show how inferior black people were. Richard Lynn's work on race...
This is, again, it's not even about race in the first place. This person's arguing with me about something that's different. Now, I do think that if you controlled for every variable, here's the reality, right? Is that if you controlled for every single variable, and every variable was exactly the same, and you took 1 million people that lived in Somalia, and you took 1 million people that lived in China, and you judged their IQ, would they both have the same IQ? Everybody knows the answer to this. Everybody knows.
And IQ heavily influenced the bell curve, a 1994 book by psychologist Richard J. Bernstein and political scientist Charles Murray that argued intelligence is largely shaped by genetics with some environmental influence, and that IQ is a stronger predictor of life outcomes, income, job success, crime, out-of-wedlock births, than the socioeconomic status you were born into. The bell curve has been challenged by geneticists, psychologists, and statisticians for overstating the probability of IQ across groups and for downplaying environmental variables, treating socially constructed racial categories as biological truths. Richard Lynn was one of the primary scholars who compiled and populated cross-national IQ data sets.
Here's what I think also, because this is just like more bullshit. I think that what you should do is you should do more research into this and figure it out yourself. Go over there and test these people. Test people that came over here that don't have these same problems, and then see what they're doing. There's a reason why we don't do a lot of research on this. And the reason why people don't do research on this is because they're afraid of the answer. That's the reason why. And I want to go
Yeah. Oh my god, oh my god.
advocating for more information versus look at the people that are advocating for less information. I'm confident that I think that more research and more investigation into this will lead to the obvious outcome. But for some people, they don't even want to talk about it. They don't even want to look into it. And that's the real problem. And they don't want to do that because what they built onto it is they built an entire ideology of the blank slate. The blank slate doesn't exist. The blank slate is to a degree true, but there are also a lot of things about it that are not true. And so what happens is that you have people that have this entire ideology that's built around this lie, and because of that, they try to never talk about or never discuss any difference besides this. Can you explain why Lynn said that Iran has an IQ of 80? It's been proven now it's 110. Well, I don't know. I didn't see about Iran. I have no idea what that reason is at all. I don't think that Iran has an IQ of 110, but I know that Iranians have very high IQs on average. 110 would be higher than anybody else in the world by 5 points. So I find that to be unlikely. But overall, I think that's very true.
Legend to show innate racial hierarchies.
Yes.
This is the textbook definition of racism. That race is a fundamental determinant of human traits, and that those...
It is a fundamental determinant of traits. It obviously is. One of the best traits is skin color. Big surprise. People of one race are going to have one skin color. This is one thing that people don't even consider with, like, racism and skin color. It's actually two different things. Like, if you have people that are from a different race, like, race isn't always defined by just, like, one specific thing. Skin color is just the most obvious indicator of that. Very clearly, there are racial differences. Anybody knows,
Let's try it, fuck cheater. Fucking wallhack piece of shit.
But inside of Western culture, we're supposed to pretend like it's not true because people are all willingly participating.
Little cheating ass bitch.
Very clearly, race is a factor. It's obviously a factor, same as gender is and everything else. But for some reason, because people are afraid of talking about this, nobody ever wants to look into it at all.
Is producing inherent superiority or a higher. Anyway, those datasets compiled by Lynn were later cited approvingly by the bell curve authors Murray and Herrnstein. In fact, Murray has explicitly acknowledged Lynn's work as part of the research base for their claims about group IQ differences. The problem is not simply that Lynn held...
Because also keep in mind that if you were actually trying to debunk this, you would do further research into people that live in these areas, and then he would be showing that further research and the IQ differences being more, like, smaller, right? Like, okay, well, there was other research, and this research came out and it proved that it wasn't true. Isn't it interesting to you that in all of these videos and all of this information, not a single actual point of, like, counter research is provided? It's all just people saying that he's racist, or other books that other people disagreed with, or talking about something in a theoretical means, but there's never actually any data that's disproving this. I wonder why that is. We all know why that is.
Extreme views, including but that his data practices have been widely criticized for flaws in its methodology.
Eugenics works. A good example of it is Yao Ming. So Yao Ming's like 7'4", 7'5", or something like that. And he was actually a product of China having people doing selective breeding. I mean, this is obviously true. If you have two black people that have a kid, the kid's going to be black. If you have two white people that have a kid, the kid's going to be white. If you have two people that are very tall that have a kid, the probability is the kid's going to be very tall. This is the type of what I was saying before. It is this willing, deliberate, and desperate attempt to totally deny every observable facet of reality. And this reality denial, there is an entire pyramid and an entire temple of misinformation and distorted values that are coming out of this. These are people who are fundamentally, not only are they against science, but they're afraid of the consequences of science. That's really it. That has nothing to do with IQ, though. What do you think the probability is that the hereditary traits that are physically observable are the only elements of things that could have anything to do with genetic variability? What do you think the probability is that height and skin color are almost 100% genetically heritable and IQ isn't at all? Really? Think about this for 3 seconds.
Upon reviewing Lynn's work, Richard states the following. The assertion that the average IQ of Africans is below 70 is not tenable, even under the most lenient of inclusion criteria. Because Lynn missed a sizable portion of the relevant literature, their estimate of average IQ of Africans is clearly too low. Combined, the current systematic review and the results of our review of Raven's test suggests that the average IQ of African test takers is close to 80.
Is this an argument against me? Like, wait a minute, wait, so you're quoting people who are saying that it's not 67, it's 80? Like, oh my God, do you understand how massive of a difference that is versus 100? Holy shit, that's insane. Oh my God.
We believe that the accuracy...
It's not an F, it's a D-, guys. And this is their argument. There's a reason why they, as I said, there's a reason why they don't do research into this. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, he's arguing against you? Yes, you cannot join the army with an IQ below 80, by the way. They're borderline? Exactly. So I think that the benchmark, so you cannot be part of the army if your IQ is, I think, below 82. And the reason why is because, and also keep in mind, average. Now, what does average mean? It means half of the people are below that. Uh-oh. Fill a society with a bunch of people where the average IQ is 80, and you're gonna have a PvP server. Sorry, it's pretty fucking obvious.
IQ of sub-Saharan African countries can be improved considerably.
What's the median? Oh, okay.
What Wichards is saying here is that Lynn conducted bad science, and that the average estimated IQ of poverty-stricken African people is actually close to average, which is usually defined.
The average, it's actually, wait, what?
In African people is actually close to average.
80 is not the average at all. What are you talking about? That's extremely low in America. That's incredibly low. It's low in Asia too. Wait, what?
Which is usually defined as between 85 to 115.
So if it's between 85 and 115, and he said it was low 80s and it was 80 to 82, then it wouldn't be part of the average. You just said the number wrong.
Their environment improves, so too with their average IQ scores, due to the Flynn effect. And remember, we're talking about countries that have faced civil war, famine, disrupted schooling, disease.
Civil war, famine, disruptive schooling, disease. Okay, these seem all great reasons to bring these people into America. This is such a great list of reasons why these people should come to our country. Yeah, I mean, now, like, guys, I wasn't convinced. Now I'm totally convinced. Now they should be here for sure.
And extreme poverty, not to mention constant exploitation by Western countries that literally...
That's right. It's Western countries' fault why these countries are shitholes. And that's the reason why, for example, whenever Britain invaded China and forced them to, buy tea and stuff like that, and they colonized India, that's why there's no smart people and people successful in China and India. That's the exact reason. Because, see, like, every country that, Europeans colonized is now just totally fucking famine-stricken and terrible. Like China, for example. It's just...
The phone you're watching this video on contains cobalt, a chemical element that is abundant in the Congo. This element is mined using child labor in the Congo. Not only does this mining degrade the environment and pollute the water system, it results in birth defects of the children born.
So why would you want to bring a bunch of defective kids into America? Why would you want to do that?
Such a media bougie.
Like, you're making my argument. Like, duh. Like, nobody wants to do that. It's ridiculous. Of course.
High levels of cobalt and uranium in their blood. In 1996, the American Psychological Association's Task Force on Intelligence explicitly warned that environmental factors such as education, nutrition, and health significantly influence IQ test performance.
Why do they keep warning and not researching? Why is it that all of these people are talking about it, but there's never any data analysis? Don't you find that to be interesting? What are the odds of that?
If you ignore those variables and jump straight to biology, well, you're not following the science.
They're all variables.
So this brings us back to Zach's tweet.
Right.
Yes, this claim is racist because it was made by a racist whose entire purpose was to denigrate an entire continent to uphold white supremacist narratives.
Guys, it's 80. It's not 67. It's not 68. It's actually all the way up there at 80. It's racist. It's racist. Guys, it's racist. Oh, no. Jesus Christ. Keep in mind the biggest mining operations in Africa are Chinese. They usually employ Russian mercenaries for protection. What's this Western bullshit? Of course the Chinese do that.
Sir, I'm just hunting the harm.
Narratives like eugenics. The claim wasn't a fact because facts survive scrutiny. They don't.
That's right, guys. The best case scenario is that it's 80. Imagine that.
Collapse the moment you ask who collected the data and whether other researchers could replicate the results.
Why are other researchers not replicating these results on a regular basis? Why is this not happening? Why is it that, we're talking about researchers replicating results? Why is it that none of these researchers are doing this on a regular basis? Why is it that this outcome isn't able to be reproduced through science? It's because they're afraid to do so. And And they're afraid to do so because they know what the answer is.
The world would require Somalia or any other African country to be permanently capped at 68 IQ in order to make sense, then the science wasn't the point. The conclusion and that.
Well, the conclusion is the point, actually. Like, if there's a country that has an IQ of 68 average, or let's say it's 80.
Bullshit, bro.
Let's assume it's 85.
You're a fucking dog. You're so bad.
Of median level, average 85 IQ people into the country. No, it's because these people are like an entire almost standard deviation below the average, and I think that their functional value in society is going to be minimal. That's the reason why.
Is narrative pushing.
Is this the whole video? Jesus. It's the whole video.
Dog shit, bro.
Man, that's sad. Well, mic drops, I know. So basically, this guy.
Why the fuck would you run back around the corner?
Calling me racist, and then when he finally
Instead of healing, you just push.
The data still showed the exact same thing that I was saying, but he said it was a different number. If you think that there's no difference between somebody with a 100 IQ and a 100 and an 80 IQ, you probably have an 80 IQ. I'm sorry, but there's a reason why the military doesn't let people in with that level of an IQ. It's because they're functionally fucking useless and they're stupid. And the fact is that you don't want to bring any of those people. This guy's a generational meltier. Read the tweet and scroll up. What is this? Oh my God. He's too personal instead of factual. Well, he's in, like, what is here? No, these numbers show. Oh, here we go. Oh no, wait. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my. Bro. Oh my God. This is a another idiot parenting something he knows nothing about. Using per capita for crime arrests is fudging of. Gentlemen. Oh my God. Wow. All right, I'm back. So, using per capita for crime arrests is fudging of the numbers. Guys, listen. If you're looking at this number, why are people in your raids below average? That's a good question, right? Oh my fucking God. The problem is arrests don't take into account exonerations, and black people are the majority of exonerees. Try again, 11 IQ. Surely, guys, surely there's nothing in per capita at all, and every group of people commits crime at the exact same ratio. Of course. That's exactly the argument. Black people are over-policed and it gives rise to misconduct. Black people are over-policed and it gives rise to misconduct? Oh my God. Black people do not dominate crime statistics. White people do. That's why you idiots try to use, quote, per capita? This guy's dumber than I thought. Oh my God. So basically, I think I'm understanding something. I think that this person made this video about me because, honestly, they probably thought they were being targeted. I think this guy straight up doesn't like white people. Uh-oh. Here we go. Let's see it. It's not. I'm not. It's irrelevant. The point is who started it. Objectively, the answer is white people. Who started World War I? We can discuss Asians or we can discuss the topic at hand. We're not going to do both. The claim was that white people are the most destructive race. Is this not a true claim? I'm asking because I don't know, but I do know there's evidence supporting this claim. Oh my God. We have an actual racist.
Wow, dude, that was really fucking cool, bro.
So this is the guy that wanted to criticize.
Yeah, fuck. I stood up here with the torch at the top of the stairs.
Statistics, and then he finally, the only concrete evidence that he uses is something that is basically proving my point. And I can see why he takes this stuff personally. What a retard. Master and other things you never say to anyone in person. Why waste your limited McDonald's internet on frivolous nonsense instead of engaging with the topic? White people are a world minority, yet they commit the most atrocities per capita. You won't like that one. Really? Well, what about Mao? And no, these groups show white people commit rape more than the other groups combined. Do you want to know the reason why rape is being... This is going to be maybe a spicy fucking take here. But the reason why rape is being seen by white people more, it's because in a lot of places in Africa, it's not against the law. That's the reason why. Has it ever occurred to you that they don't even have laws for spousal rape? They don't even have laws for rape in general. So this whole thing, yeah, duh. Fucking obviously. What a stupid argument. Yeah, they don't have the data. Do you know why they don't have the data? It's because they don't care. They treat women like second-class citizens and like livestock. Duh. What is this here? Somalia outlawed rape in 2018? Really? Wow. Perfect. Good timing. And so, did you hear spousal abuse dropped to 0% in Afghanistan? Yeah, it sure did. And anyway, you're trying to manipulate the numbers. Do you think a judge looks at a white person being tried for rape and thinks about per capita? What does this even mean? I don't even know what this means. Exactly. So you're telling me that you condemn whitewashing as a weak attempt to win a debate online. You don't have a history of condemning the nefarious acts of white people, so I reject the attempt. You do, however, have a racist streak, pattern recognition, remember? So we have somebody here who is actually a racist. We have an actual racist person who got upset that I said that Somalians have a very low IQ and I don't want them in America. He's also weirdly obsessed with IQ. Wait, what is this? Weirdly obsessed with IQ. Uh-oh. In case you were wondering, your IQ score is 141. So this guy got a 141 IQ score. Wow, that's really impressive. Honestly, I would have expected a better video. Yeah, I mean, really, I mean, after all this, I mean, this is sad. Honestly, this is a stronger argument against what I said than his video is. Because how is it that a person that says they have 141 IQ can be this stupid? No, this is actually a better argument than his entire video. Wow. AI helped in the song's actual IQ? Who cares? We're thinking about IQ, about this random person who gives a shit. And so anyway, notice how we aren't talking about this at all. You want to take it there. Which ethnic group in America brutalized and enslaved who again? This is right, guys. Which ethnic group right now, like, this is what I think is funny. Which ethnic group right now has slavery? Which Western country has slavery now? None of them. How many African countries have slavery? Come on. What are we doing? This is so obvious. How do you think? Didn't they build that nice thing in Qatar? Was it Qatar? Whenever they built that hole, that thing? Yeah, of course. Yeah, they do have this. But you just, and this is the same guy that just got done making the argument about these kids, the current state of child labor in the cobalt mines in the Democratic Republic of Congo. So they're like, do you think these kids want to do this? Fuck no, they don't want to do this. So you use this argument. This person does not believe that you can be racist against white people. That's why he openly hates white people, yet he's the one that's able to call anybody racist. Well, this guy's just an idiot. I think we're going to have to focus on him more. Like, now that I'm seeing this, we're going to have to make more content about this individual. I think this is going to continue to, this is going to be the gift that keeps on giving. Oh my God. Technically, Americans bought slaves. The slaves were enslaved by African kingdoms. Yeah, like, we didn't come over to Africa with a lasso and round up all of the people that we used as slaves. We didn't do that. They sold us as slaves because they had enslaved them when we got there. That's the reason. Duh. This is crazy. Some of these people don't understand. In a room of 100 people, 2 wear red shirts, 98 wear white. 1 of the red shirts steal, 30 blue shirts steal. Per capita, the red shirts have a 50% crime rate. Blue has a 31% crime rate. Oh my God. Like, this, the sample size is 30. Of course, yes, wow. You don't understand what per capita is used for. Only absolute numbers matter for law enforcement. Only absolute numbers matter for law enforcement. Oh my God. Yeah, he's also melting down in his own comment section. Wait, what? He's crashing out in his own comment. Is this true? The Roach King literally reacting to the video. Video's barreling up for an hour. He said starve for content, and of course his weirdo audience has attempted to come here, brigade the video, and leave downvotes. They're saying what they're doing. Unfortunately for them, they won't be able to comment here. Yeah, you can. I can comment. It's not even a big deal. So yeah, I mean, what is this? Yeah, you obviously can. You can comment. You can't shut. You have to. You can't shut down comments from everybody. You have to either turn off comments entirely, or you have to make it where comments are on people only. That's not how it works. Link the video. I'll link the video to you guys. This is the one I watched, right? He's individually deleting them. Wait a minute. So this guy's individually deleting comments after he got called out. Oh no. There's the video. Oh my God. So he's out there, bro. He's out there in the trenches fighting. No, delete it. Shut it down. Shut it down. No, guys. That's not it at all. And what a high IQ opinion. Yes. Oh my fucking God. This is ridiculous. He can't individually delete all our comments. Honestly, he's going to have to, right? And wow, I knew this day would come. That IQ is a load of nonsense and not indicative of intelligence in the slightest. Anybody who says this is a moron. If you told somebody that the person who is your surgeon has an IQ of 70, that person would be fucking terrified and they would come up with a reason to get out of the surgery. The idea that IQ doesn't matter will immediately stop the moment that your life is being put in the hands of a person with an IQ of 70. So this is so delusional. It's not true at all. Everybody knows it's not true. You're just a moron. And update my own will. Yeah, I guess so. They won't admit it. No, they won't. So who is this person, Birdman? What does he do? He complains about racism. So let me get this straight. So he complains about racism, and he makes videos, negative videos about Charlie Kirk. And then he goes on Twitter, and he's just profoundly racist towards white people, and he crashes out and complains about them. Oh my God. This isn't a 60, not offending anybody. Per capita is used to figure things out like resource allocation. Right, literally does not matter to law enforcement agencies. That's the entire context of the crime. Retard supremacists latched on to a NAR argument. This person thinks per capita doesn't matter. Oh my God. Wow. And what is this here? I'm gonna check you. Did your mom have when you smoked cigarette? This is another one. Smoked a cigarette, hooked up to the machine. So you have somebody, you're trying to insult me or be rude to me or something like this. The funny thing is that she even admitted that. She said as they were carrying her out of her room, the EMS was carrying her out. She says, I'm stupid, I'm such an asshole. She even agreed with you. She said it was stupid herself. Like, what do you mean? Like, everybody's on the same page with this. It was dumb as hell. Like, duh. It's not even true. What a disgusting chatter. Well, people like this love to escalate things to the emotional attacks, attacking your dead family members, everything like that. And the reason why they do that is because they don't have anything. There's nothing that it has any basis at all. And that's it, guys. Just clout chasing with all the tweets. They have minimal engagement. Well, of course they're reasonable. But anyway, it doesn't matter anymore. I like this. You think I'm some leftist that's going to be shocked with these images. Oh, God. Let's just do some more this year. U.S. social assistance recipients, and it's the majority of people are white. Man. Man. Imagine having such a profoundly and tremendously, like, massive misunderstanding of statistics and information. Like, really, 140 IQ, and you still don't understand per capita. But per capita doesn't matter. The guy just hates white people. He does. It's very embarrassing to see people like this that are talking about this. There is. And now he's upset, and again, he's upset that I reacted to his video. So he makes an entire video about me, and then I react to it, and he's crying about it. Man. That's sad, isn't it? I'll read a few more comments. I want to move on and look at some other stuff, too. And so clearly that's what it is. Shouldn't the graph be the same as the population pie chart? It's so overrepresented. Yeah, of course, right? And absolutely. I don't think he doesn't understand. He's intentionally misunderstanding. Well, he's just stupid, I guess. It's like, I don't know. Like, I mean, it's sad to see somebody come together and put this together because it's just so... None of this makes sense at all. Dude doesn't have an IIQ test. Who cares whether he has a high IQ or not? Like again, when you're looking at averages, that's what you're really talking about. Meme them until they cry. I bet he's here in chat. I bet he is too. 140 took a few tries, I guess. Maybe you're right. He's a retarded racer. Yep, exactly. His video never even had a practical point in it. At one point, he just confirmed it. That's right. I think Internet ID is inevitably and unfortunately coming to the United States and the entire world. I think that once countries have enough, once they have enough countries that want Internet ID, I think it becomes a realistic expectation. And I'm not saying that there's never going to be a way to get around it, but I think getting around it will become harder and harder over time. Resist and refuse? Well, I'm not, listen, if you want to resist and refuse, that's totally fine. And in some ways, I will too. But I think the point that I'm making is that it's coming. It is. It's coming.
Okay, we need to talk about the Discord story. It's really important, and it goes way further than where I have got to start it. You see, where I've got to start it is a quote from Discord, and here's the quote. "We failed at our most basic job, clearly explaining what we're doing and why. That's on us." Now, obviously, Discord have seen the outrage from people. They've seen the Nitro subs being pulled, the fury has been over identity verifications. So what they're doing here is, well, this blog post. They're acknowledging the anger, they're slowing down their rollout, but what they're not doing is cancelling their plans. And as we go through today's video, you're going to learn how this does go way deeper, how it could impact your phone, your computer, and really your relationship with the internet, because this is not just about Discord. But first, let's get to the walk back. That kind of is a walk back, but really isn't. What are Discord doing then? Well, their CTO laid out what they're doing in a post, and here goes. More verification options, more transparency about how age checks work, and a delayed rollout to the second half of 2026 instead of this March. Basically, you can't put the genie back in the bottle, but what he can do is use a lot of words to explain what Discord is going to do and how it's going to impact you. And that's because, from his perspective, the big problem is that so many of us, so many of you, think that everyone will be denied access to Discord unless they submit to facial scans or ID checks.
This is the future. It is. South Korea is where we're going. I know you might not believe it, but you will see it.
Really does sound quite bad, but for that to be required by everyone has never been Discord's plan. So his hope is to explain all that stuff again and to soothe over fears that they are, in his words, creating a problem to justify invasive solutions. But in reality, his announcement doesn't actually change much.
The real problem, this is really what the issue is. Discord doesn't have the amount of personnel that they need in order to correctly and effectively be able to deal with all of these people and deal with all of the reports they get. So instead of actually trying to proactively stop grooming and at least do it reactively whenever they get reports, what they're doing instead is they're just turning off the entire thing, which in some cases I think is the right decision.
About what Discord is doing in particular. Well,
not necessarily that it is in this circumstance, but sometimes it is.
Matters is what this story reveals globally, and this does include new legislation in some American states, stuff in the UK, stuff in the EU. Basically, if you're watching this channel, and I know the demographics, or I suppose the geographics, this is almost certainly going to impact you in a way that is not just